Hi, this is Mary Crisagladove, and in this video lesson, I'm gonna let you savor the moment with different exotic, street foods, and fast food influences in the Philippines. Just sit back and brace yourself because you will be filled with lots of delicious dishes and fruitful lessons.
The Philippines has more flavors than it has islands, and that's saying a lot when there's over 7,000.
All Filipino food is a fusion of flavors. Take adobo, for example. So many different flavors involved to make that taste of comfort.
Because the only thing Pinoys love more than eating is making other people eat.
And I'm sure whatever we're putting in it, we're putting it all in one bite and making you eat it.
The amazing thing about adobo is there's no one recipe. You cook with your heart and eat with your mouth.
There's so many ways to wipe out in the Philippines, from serve to table.
Sometimes we just invent reasons to eat.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, merienda.
Pansit palabok for merienda.
Who's merienda?
As with any pancit dish, the noodles are for long life.
Long life but not long hair.
Our food comes from an incredibly rich culinary history. It may not look it, but there's complex flavors at work here.
Sweet, salty, savory, rich, delicate.
Fish in my chocolate? Why not?
We love mixing it up. 15 flavors for the price of one.
So for today's lesson, we're gonna talk about exotic, street food, fast food influences in the Philippines, experiencing Filipino culture through food. There are a lot of dishes in the Philippines that lend different experiences to your palate. Foreign countries have influenced a lot of these dishes. This is due to the fact that traders and colonizers have visited the Philippines for centuries. The American and the Spanish colonizer and the Chinese and other Southeast Asian traders influenced and brought about a kaleidoscope in the Filipino way of cooking. And before we formally start our lesson, let's have first our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, student will be able to recognize different Filipino dishes and its influences. Second, to better understand the origin of Filipino cuisine. And lastly, to promote and encourage greater appreciation of Filipino cooking tradition. And now, let's move on to significant influences. Many cultures have influenced Filipino cuisine, such as Malay, Indian, Arab, Chinese, Spanish, Japanese, American, and South American cuisine. These are the influences of many different countries that contribute to Philippine cuisine. That's why Filipinos embrace the ideas and influences of other countries. If it were not for these influences to Philippine cuisine, there would not be a wonderful array of dishes to delight the palate. And now, let's have a taste on some exotic Pinoy foods. These bizarre dishes often come about with using whatever is available in the surroundings or whatever is left in an animal. And the first exotic Filipino dish we have is balut. Balut is the most popular exotic food from the Philippines. Balut is an embryo that has been boiled and eaten directly from its shell after being nurtured for 14 to 21 days. And just like in other Southeast Asian countries, such as China and Laos, balut is a relatively inexpensive source of protein and calcium, and it is considered by some to be aphrodisiac for men. And And the next one we have is bitute. It is also known as bitute tugak, and it is a Pampanga specialty that consists of deep fried rice, filled frogs stuffed with minced pork. The legs of edible frogs are also consumed in other parts of the world, including Vietnam, southern China, and Cambodia. And the third one we have is isaw. It is a famous Filipino street food made by grilling pig or chicken intestines. And it is a specific type of inihaw. And just like in China, both large and small intestines are eaten throughout the country. And large intestine is called as fei chang, which means fat intestine because it is fatty. And the fourth exotic Filipino dish we have is camaro. It is a bizarre dish made from Philippine insects. These are mole crickets that are made into special Filipino delicacies by Filipino cooks. Mole crickets are also popular and nutritious snack in Thailand. When shallow fried or baked and mixed with Thai herbs or other seasoning, they have a pleasant taste and contain a good source of protein and vitamins, just like how Filipinos savor camaro. And now we have also the tamilok. It is a Filipino delicacy, and tamilok is also called as woodworm. It is a saltwater clam that bores hole in decaying woods. And lastly, we have the kinilaw. It is referred to as Philippines ceviche. Kinilaw refers to a collection of Filipino foods that are similar to crudo in Italy and ceviche in Peru. And now, let's move on to fast food influences in the Philippines. Filipino food is one of the most diverse and delicious in the world. But there's one thing we love more than our cuisine, and that is fast food and restaurants. Filipinos love to try fast food and restaurants because Filipinos love to try new things. They also love to try fresh food. This is why we have a lot of fast food and restaurants in our country. We Filipinos are very adventurous, so if there is something new in the market, we will try it out. We don't care if it's expensive or not. If it looks good and smells good, then we will buy it. Filipino people love fast food and restaurants. Fast food is trendy in the Philippines, and many people love to eat fast food every day. And fast food is everywhere in the Philippines. Whether a fancy burger joint or a local street vendor, you'll find yourself surrounded by fast food. And while we love these places, there are some facts about them that might surprise you. An example of famous fast food restaurant in the Philippines are McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Shakey's, Subway, Popeyes, Bonchon, Tokyo, Potato Corner, Starbucks, and many more. Alright, so now we will continue our food tour and we will taste the foods in Luzon. The first thing we have is the pipian. Pipian manok is an Ilocano version of chicken porridge that you can usually find in the city of Vigan. It is basically a sinigang version of lugaw. The second one we have is the kare-kare. It is a Filipino stew with vegetables, oxtail, and a thick, savory peanut sauce. Originating before the Spanish arrived in the Philippines, and kare-kare is a Filipino comfort food. The third food we have is the pancit. These are noodles that can be mixed with whatever meat or vegetables your stomach desires. It was influenced by the Chinese, and the name originated from Hokkien that means pian isit, meaning something conveniently cooked. And the fourth one we have is the sisig. It is a spicy, fatty meat dish with pig head and liver marinated in vinegar, soy sauce, calamansi juice, and chili peppers. Calamansi is a citrus fruit that commonly used in Filipino lemonade, and sisig was influenced by the Spanish. And now let's have a taste the food in Visayas. First, we have the adobo. It is one of the most well-known dishes on our list. Chicken adobo's distinctive flavor comes from a slow cooking process, plus plenty of vinegar, crushed garlic, soy sauce, and black pepper. It originally came from the Spanish, but Filipinos made a version of it. The second one we have is the lumpia. It is a delicious fried spring roll stuffed with a mixture of minced meat and chopped vegetables. And this dish was influenced by the Chinese people. The third one we have is the chicharron. It is a fried pork rinds made from chicken, beef, or mutton, which is extremely popular in Spain and Latin America. The last one we have is tuslubua. Its chief ingredients are pork liver and brain, which gets sautéed with garlic, onions, shrimp paste, and chilies. It is also almost the same with Chinese cuisine, where brain is a delicacy in Chongqing and Sichuan cuisine, and it is often cooked in a spicy hot pot or barbecued. And now let's taste the foods in Mindanao. The first one we have is the rendang. The Filipino version of the dish is a bit different in terms of preparation method to suit their taste, and some ingredients are substituted with local components. The rendang is a meal that the Maranao people of the southern Philippines brought with them from Indonesia, their neighboring country. The second we have is the kuracha. The name kuracha comes from the Chavacano language and refers to a species of deep sea crab that can typically be discovered in the waters of Sulu and Zamboanga City. And the third food we will gonna taste is tiyula itung. This black soup of slow-cooked beef or chicken in burnt coconut broth is usually served during special occasions like Muslim weddings, and it is influenced by Malay, Indian, and Arab countries. And the last one we have is the pastil. Pastil is a dish from Maguindanao. The fact that it is just rice wrapped in banana leaf with chicken or beef adobo strips as a filler demonstrates that Maranao or Mindanao cuisine focuses more on straightforward instruction for preparing dishes. This is a Filipino version of tamales, where it is a favorite comfort food in Central America that covers southern Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, and more. And that's the end of our food tour. I hope this lesson filled your mind as well as your stomach. And thank you so much for listening. Bye bye and see you next time.